And so I was like, I don't think I have it. I'm, you know, whatever. But then I did. So if you watched the last video, you saw that I found that out while I was in a thrift store, which I thought was kind of appropriate for me.
Okay.
Everybody, welcome back to the Knorpps. It's morning, it's 7:35 in the morning, and well, let me just start the video out by saying probably what the title is anyways, is that just a few days ago I found out after weeks of appointments and tests that I have breast cancer. I'm getting more used to saying that. One of the unexpected parts of getting cancer or breast cancer is that you have to tell people, because it's kind of weird not to tell people. And so I'm having to like text my family, Mike had to text his family, and call some members of the family, and that's a weird part of it. Another part of it is that well, we've gone to many appointments. It's not a quick thing to find out that you have cancer, and maybe unless you're like in late stage cancer and you're really sick. But I'm an early cancer. I have invasive ductal carcinoma, and so I am having the experience of learning all sorts of new words and concepts that I never knew before. Very quickly you're Googling or getting on ChatGPT and asking about certain things, and then you see more words you don't know. And so invasive ductal carcinoma means that the milk ducts in your breasts have grown cancer, and invasive means that it's grown out of the duct as well. Today's MRI, they're obviously going to be looking at my breasts, seeing with a clearer picture, because I've already have a mammogram, a very like detailed mammogram, and an ultrasound. But now they're going to be looking, and I guess an MRI will look more detailed, and throughout the area they'll be looking at I think what are those called in my armpits?
Your lymph nodes?
Yes, I think they'll also be looking at my lymph nodes. The ultrasound doctor did look at my lymph nodes, I think, real quickly and felt they were fine, didn't see anything. But so that's a good sign, because you want the cancer to have spread as little as possible, to have stayed in. So right now it's only in my left breast. I do not think there's anything in my right breast. Nobody does so far, but the MRI will tell us more. I've been really happy with the doctor I go to is part of the medical system that has an app. And so all of my results get uploaded to the app. So I can read them, I can put them into ChatGPT and have him translate things for me. So that's been really helpful. And to refer to them again, because like there's a lot of information in there that I miss because it's all so technical. So that will be nice with the MRI too, the MRI doctor putting their notes in there. Yeah, so I guess because I share my life on YouTube, I'll be sharing this part of my life on YouTube as well. So far, there's been a lot of, I mean, as would be expected, lots of ups and downs. Trying to digest the fact that you're on a major detour for your life. This is a very treatable type of cancer. It's like 99% survivability. So this is more like something I'm gonna have to take care of. That's gonna be maybe a difficult process to take care of it. Maybe if I have to get chemotherapy, it will make me very sick, but I should be just fine after the treatment is over. But you know, there's just layers to understand and to digest and accept. So I've had a month now of going through that, because I felt the lump. I was in the shower, felt the lump, and I was like, oh my gosh, the lump in my breast, that's not good. And then made the appointment, went to the doctor, thought he was gonna be, I don't know, I didn't know what I thought, but my primary care physician sent me to first thing to get the mammogram and the ultrasound, which is a week later. So it's just like 2 weeks in now. So you've had a lot of time to think about it and to Google it and talk with Chad about it. And then that took, after I got the results from that, it took a week for me to go in and get a biopsy. So you still don't know, and you still, you know, and they're like, suspicious, don't like the look of that. So I'm doing lots of like asking ChatGPT, like, what are the chances, knowing what we know so far, that I have cancer, you know? So when I went into the biopsy, I was at like 50-50. And so I was like, I don't think I have it. I'm, you know, whatever. But then I did. So if you watched the last video, you saw that I found that out while I was in a thrift store, which I thought was kind of appropriate for me. So now I'm asking, like, what are the chances that I will need chemotherapy based on what we know so far? Right now it sits at 30 to 40%, which was way higher than I wanted it to be. I was hoping it would be like, 10%. No, you're fine. But if it's not chemotherapy, I will be having the chat said it's likely I'll have a mastectomy, and that I will then either need radiation or chemotherapy. Radiation, I didn't know this until the last few weeks, is very targeted, and you don't like lose your hair or anything. It's like they put like a radiation gun right over your breast to kill any remaining cancer cells. And then chemotherapy is sending it throughout your whole body, these drugs, to kill any cancer cells in your body, but also that makes you very, very sick, including losing your hair. So anyways, don't want to do that. I don't want to necessarily be sick for 6 months, but obviously we'll take it one step at a time and trust that it's all going to work out. I've been very grateful for prayer. I've been very grateful for my scriptures, that I can spend time in the Word of God, and have definitely felt His love and guidance, and trust that He is a good shepherd and that He will take good care of me and my family. So I'm gonna go into this MRI. Never done an MRI before. It's gotta like lay in the tube for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes or something. Yeah. And hopefully I just fall asleep. That's easy to do. So I'll let you know though on the other side. So we just arrived at this building, this huge building called the Levine Cancer Institute, and my first thought is like
campus.
Yeah, my first thought is like, well, I don't belong here, and then it's like, oh, I guess I do. Yucky. Yikes. It's been kind of strange because every appointment I go to, I get the worst news, not the best news, you know. And so I'm starting to feel like I don't want to go to any more appointments because they're just going to tell me bad news. Like, I know that I haven't done like a colonoscopy yet. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You'll just tell me I have cancer. I'm not doing it. I know that doesn't make much sense, but it starts to feel like that. So today is an MRI, and I'm hoping it's just going to confirm that I don't have much spread, but I'm kind of used to now getting the news that's not what I'm hoping for, but what I didn't want to have happen. So I don't know. I don't know where that ends, but hopefully it ends eventually. My cheeks are pink from resting on them in the machine.
Yeah.
I also have a big pink mark here, and I have, anyways, I'm all done. So, I mean, it wasn't super comfortable, but it wasn't like super uncomfortable. I think mostly you're just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, I found out a few days ago, you know, about the cancer thing, and then you're just like getting rolled into this machine, and you know, it's like not even, it's just the beginning of like all sorts of, you're like grateful for them, because my mom told me yesterday, I think, that my great grandmother had breast cancer. I'm like, man, who knows what the treatment was like in the 1960s, you know, or whatever whenever she had it, but 50s even. But so you're grateful for it, but you're also like, it's not comfortable. It's not like a relaxing thing, and you're like, here we go, you know. And I have like, the first one didn't work, and then the second IV worked better, man. But you know, it's not. But I'm gonna have to get used to it, because this is what we're doing, just to save my life, I guess. Well, I got home and decided to go for my walk. I'm trying to walk 5 miles every day, and I've been real happy to get to that point where I can do that. It makes me feel really good. And then I have a little body weight exercises I do afterwards, which I have not been able to do because of my biopsy cuts today, or in this week. I might do them today, see how I feel. Anyways, very happy to go. I know somebody from years ago who's posting on Facebook right now about her breast cancer journey. And honestly, it's like terrifying, but also hopeful, because she describes her treatment with chemo, and it is wild how bad it gets. But then, she has no hair or anything like that. But then she's playing in pickleball tournaments on her good days. So that was inspiring to me. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to lose everything in this time, even if I go to worst case scenario chemo. Obviously not worst case scenario, because worst case scenario is you're dead. So anyways, out for my walk. My biopsy was only like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 2.5. But the doctor already called me and updated me. So, I got breast cancer in my left breast. There's some other spots they don't like. Probably gonna need a mastectomy in that breast. They saw some things on the right breast that are concerning that you can only see because they're so small. But what they want to do is only see with an MRI. What they want to do is I'm going to go in for some more biopsies to try to get all of the new things they saw with the MRI and see what those are. And then in less than a couple weeks, 11 days, I meet with the surgeon and we'll discuss what the plan is. If I'm just like, they're out, they're gone. The good news is, and this is I feel like the first time I've gotten real good news confirmed, but it's not 100,000,000% confirmed, but all my lymph nodes look clear. So that would be amazing. That probably puts me in type, what is it called? When people have cancer and they're like types, I guess. I don't know if it's types, I can't remember. Levels, I can't remember, but level 1. Because it's spread throughout my breast, but it might be 2, because he has one concern, because the tumors on this side are right by my chest muscles. So they will have to look in the surgery and see if it's started to grow into the muscle there, and then I think that pushes it into type 2. We won't know if I need chemo until after surgery, because that's when they take it out and really look and test everything and biopsy to see if it's, I don't know, and we won't know, but there will be some markers of what type it is, if it's hormone sensitive, and how aggressive it is. And then they will determine my treatment plan moving forward from there. So I have a few weeks before I'll know that, maybe a month before I'll know that. So I'm gonna enjoy having hair and exercising and freedom. I told Mike we need to get up to the mountains and do a really great hike or something. Not that I can't hike if I have to get chemo, but I don't know, you just feel like you should do something. You're like, I haven't, messed with anything yet. I feel like I should do something. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to my walk, but I just wanted to update. One other thing I wanted to mention is that 2 years ago, I gave up sugar and flour for good, planning to never go back. And just mostly I've chosen to eat whole foods. I don't eat a lot of prepared stuff because I like to cook, and because it's just so much easier to eat well and avoid those things. Because also I don't want weird ingredients, Anyway, so I made that decision 2 years ago, and then with all the walking, and I told you guys before about the body strength stuff I've been doing, I feel so grateful that I'm heading into this time healthy, besides cancer. But my body is stronger than it's been in my adult life. I can do 40 push-ups. I do 40 push-ups a day now. And I'm just mentioning that because I may lose my ability to do that if I do chemo, but it will come back, and I've learned that. You can go from not being able to do 1 push-up to 6 months later being able to do 40. And I do squats and jumping jacks and sit-ups. And I'm just so grateful that I made that decision beforehand, because it's one less thing I have to worry about, because they're like, you should probably start eating this way. It's I'm already eating that way. High protein, clean, no sugar, no flour. So I guess what I'm saying to my friends out there, if you've been thinking about making a change and taking better care of yourself, do it. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that my marriage is healthy. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that we have a good housing situation and that my kids are doing well, because it's like everything else is set, and so now is the best time to do it. I don't have to, on top of dealing with all of this information, learn how to eat differently. And obviously you can do it, and plenty of people do, but that's taken care of. That's just a part of what I do now, how I shop, everything. So do it now. Health problems are kind of inevitable. I mean, you're guaranteed, because you will die. So, and you'll die because most likely your body stops working the way it's supposed to work. So anyways, I'm really grateful I did that. So maybe if you've been thinking about it and sitting on the fence, now's the time. And guess what? If you don't get cancer, it's still awesome to be healthy and strong and to not have food addictions and trouble with that stuff. And in fact, it will decrease your likelihood of getting cancer. So you should do it. Hey everybody, it's been a few days and I thought I would do a final update for this video. Just about to go for my walk. It's raining, slept in a little bit. I wanted to stay in bed all day, sounded amazing. But yesterday I got actually really good news. My first biopsy, some other tests came back from that and confirmed what kind of invasive ductal carcinoma I have. And it's a hormone sensitive kind, but a very slow growing kind, and very, very treatable. And so if things go perfectly, they can technically remove the cancer and if they get clear margins, meaning there's no cancer outside of what they removed, they'll like test the outside, then I won't even need any other treatment besides some hormone therapy. So that made my spirits very lifted yesterday, very, very lifted. Though I will say I'm very drained, surprised at how tired all of the new information and all the new emotions and things I have to think through make me very tired by the end of the day. Like, you know, at 10 o'clock last night, I felt like it was like 2 in the morning. My stomach had that like late night, I've stayed up too late feeling. But I have a great supportive husband who talks me through it all and protects me and is great, and my kids too. Another thing I wanted to address, I have been getting a lot of messages through the internet, but also through, just text message about things that I can do to support my health at this time. And obviously so many people have been touched by cancer in their families. And I'm 100% a believer in natural remedies. So kind of as I've been thinking through everything I've learned about my cancer and what I want to do for treatment, I've been waiting for a lot of tests to come in before I make that decision. And also just like learning about cancer and learning about treatments. But first of all, I will say I am a big believer in being really careful with what you eat. And a couple years ago, I gave up sugar. I don't eat any sugar besides that which comes from fruit. And I don't eat tons of fruit. And then I don't eat any like grains almost. I'll eat rice a little bit, and I do my one weakness is corn tortillas. I have 2 corn tortillas every morning with my eggs, and sometimes I'll have them other times, but the rest of the time I'm eating 100% whole foods. Corn tortillas are like almost the only processed thing I ever eat, besides I guess you could say some pickled things. That's technically processed, but I don't eat any highly processed foods. And I eat pretty clean, and I eat mostly whole foods, and it's been a big blessing to me. I've really enjoyed eating that way. And I also don't take any other medications, and I take supplements and all of those things. So I feel very confident with that and moving forward with that. And I'm totally willing to cut out corn tortillas if, as a continuation of cleaning up my diet. But, back in 2018, when I found that I had malignant melanoma on my leg, you get it out. You get the melanoma taken off your leg. You don't want it to go in. And it's the same thing. Finding cancer in my breast, I'm not going to just try to shrink it. I'm just going to get it taken out, because Right now it appears it has not gone out of my breast. And what's amazing about that is I can just get it removed and it's out of my body, and I can continue to support my body with all of these other things. As soon as just a few cells make it to my lymph nodes will start spreading it to the rest of my body. And once it's out, it's out. And I totally believe that you can help support your body even if you have stage 4 of a cancer, where it means it's spread throughout your body. That would be metastatic breast cancer. I totally believe that you can eat and live in a way that makes it really hard for those breast cancer colonies to thrive in your body. But I am way, way, way before that, where I can make it so that we take the breast cancer out so they cannot spread throughout my body. I don't have to always be wondering if they're doing so, like they're out. And absolutely, I'm going to get those removed. I'm going to get those removed from my body. And I'm very, very grateful that it's a slow moving kind and that it's so treatable and I can support my health. But that doesn't mean I'm going to leave the cancer in there so 1 or 2 stray cells can make it out, or it's gone. Just like with my skin cancer, gone. And I will continue I'm using a lot of frankincense, I'm using some pink pepper to support my health, those 2 oils. I have actually stopped using quite a few things that I was using before because they mimic estrogen in the body in good ways. But right now I have an estrogen sensitive cancer. So I'm not taking, I'm not using like lavender oil, yarrow oil. I was actually taking phytoestrogens because I'm in perimenopause. So I'm not doing any of those things or anything. I will look at things now and Google or ask ChatGPT if they are estrogenic or however you say it. So, but I 100% believe that the first thing you should do when you find out that you're sick, no matter what, is support yourself through your diet and lifestyle. Like, it's such an easy thing to do. It seems scary, but like, your body is just such a miracle. And if you can get healthy with your diet, and for me, I know there's a lot of different ways of looking at diet, but for me, the number one thing is get rid of sugar and get rid of highly processed foods. You are halfway there no matter what, or more than halfway there. So I do appreciate that everybody has things they've learned and things that have really blessed their lives. But I promise you that I'm thinking about those things too. But really the last week and a half have been fact finding. Like, let me just know what I have so I can understand how I should move forward. So I've kind of been, like in a holding pattern, like a plane would be, then I can land, then I can figure out how we're going to move forward. But absolutely, cleaning up your diet and being really careful with sugar, because sugar feeds so many bad things in your body. I'm very, very comfortable and happy that I made that decision and where I'm at with that. But I'm feeling really good today. I'm still pretty drained. I get a lot of messages and I'm very grateful for all the love. And I'm very touched that you guys tell me that you're praying for me. I mean, like, that's very touching to have people pray for you, to think of yourself, your name being uttered in prayers around the world. That's very touching and I'm very grateful for that. But we're feeling good, feeling grateful, feeling hopeful. And we're just gonna keep moving forward. I have another biopsy in a couple days just to rule out some things that are in the right side. I have to and then I'll meet with the surgeon next week and see if they're a good fit for me. And I have to decide if I'm just gonna get both breasts removed so that we don't have to do this again in a few years. That's very, very common, that if you leave one in because you're hopeful that you have to do it again. But my surgeon might tell me, not with your type of cancer. That's not very common. So we'll make that determination as we move forward. And how I'm going to rebuild this breast or whatever. Those are all things I have to decide moving forward. Anyways, I'm feeling good and I'm grateful for your love and support and your prayers, and I'm grateful for modern medicine. I'm grateful for ancient medicine, and I'm grateful for, most of all, for the gift of prayer and fasting and my relationship with Christ and how good he is to us, to me, and to my family. So I love you all. And until next time, we'll see ya. Got to get out on my walk. I'm excited. Bye.